funny joke, right? The guys who didn't accept money from Sequoia, because in America you need like a tax number or something, you know, to establish a bank account. So you know, and they moved. So now it comes to the point that, in my opinion, most European startups, and especially in Europe, and especially in Austria, are undercapitalized. So if you look at the investment size of venture capital funds in Austria, and they have like 10 million, 20 million, right? So they do like $1 million here, 2 million there, and then they tie it to like milestones and make it really hard for the entrepreneur and take all the different rights, you know, and discuss like for 3 months about valuation, and then you go to AWS or whatever the name in the moment is of this institution, FGG something, right? And then you go through this process for another 6 months, and then you get a bank guarantee, and you have to find a bank who actually gives you the funding, right? And you waste it another year, and they can only do like 10 investments, and the likelihood that out of 10 investments something will be incredibly successful is also very, very low, because in my experience, and also in the experience of many VCs I spoke to, it's actually unpredictable if a consumer product is going to succeed or not, right? I spoke with him before in the car, that there's actually a movement in America, and it's very interesting, that VCs start really spreading money just to test the waters, to figure out, is this a consumer product which is going to work? Is it viral? Right? Will it be viral? And if it's viral, I go really deep, right? I invest more money, I go after this startup, if not, kill fast. So, having that said, in my opinion, if I start something, and if I'm not afraid of, you know, winding down the company, fighting for bankruptcy or whatsoever, I start the next one, I start the next one, I start the next one, and eventually I'm gonna win. Plus, it's also a mistake to go for like the Facebook, right? I mean, inventing a Facebook these days, and it's like winning the lottery. It's just simply more or less luck. But building a company and sell it for like 100 million or 50 million or 200 million, that's if you sell a company for 100 million, it's actually a small company, right? This is like, our deal was also not that huge, right? I mean, for Austrian dimensions, 200 million is a lot, but not necessarily there. And I would actually, my recommendation, I would go for smaller size startups. I don't have to rule the world. Not everything must be disruptive. Just make something really a little bit better. Make a bet on the safe side. Try to get in revenues as soon as possible. Also something I've seen, because many people have no idea how to monetize their business, and they all still want to create millions and millions and millions of users and think about monetizing them later. It's a mistake. I would start with the business model right away. And also, another topic which you mentioned, which you didn't mention before, is networking in general, which is a huge disadvantage in Austria. So if I go to Starbucks in Silicon Valley, let's say there are 50 people in there, 40 people are either entrepreneurs, venture capitalists, lawyers working for entrepreneurs, or something, right, related to startups. If I go to Starbucks in Vienna, I don't know how many entrepreneurs would tell me. Maybe
go to
one.
Starbucks, they would go somewhere else.
Well, that's what I like about this initiative here, right? Because as everything is so spread, and we entrepreneurs are all like some kind of aliens still, it's good, you know, that there's an initiative going on, and that we all join forces and share networks and really talk and support each other. Because this is actually one of the key successes over there, right? Because if I want to get in contact with like an eBay executive, eventually I will find somebody in my network there. And if we do the networking right here in Austria, I think we can also reach that stage eventually.
Mark, can I ask a question? Sure. A question though. You said that startups should focus on, or if I understood you correctly, please correct me if I didn't, should focus on ideas that, these smaller scale ideas, $50 million, $100 million. Do you think that that's actually a good attitude?
Absolutely.
So you think that as a startup, that you should be aware of or cap the scale of your vision?
Well, the thing is, look, 2000, everybody was running around and said, I'm gonna disrupt the world, right? I built the next whatsoever multi-billion company, right? And this bullshit nobody buys anymore, no VC. I mean, it's just not realistic, right? It's realistic that you start something and you create a $100, $200 million idea, and if you get lucky, it's gonna be a big one anyway. So it's not necessary anymore to tell VCs this is gonna be the next billion-dollar company. It really isn't, in my opinion.
But that's different from dreaming big,
oh,
right?
Of course,
I think if you
it's
dream for 100 million, you're going to wind up with 20. But I think at least if you've got, you know, if you dream a lot bigger, and if your vision is bigger about wanting to, you know, partner up with bigger guys and get bigger customers, I mean, you'll hit 20% of that, right? And so I think, you know, that's probably what you're getting at.
It is.
You mean when you, yeah.
Maybe Christopher, you tell us about your experience as a founder.
In what context?
In all these contexts already mentioned. How was it in your career?
I mean, my first response would be that, are you an entrepreneur because you want to make a lot of money, or are you an entrepreneur because you have in your mind a way the world can be that's better? And if you're the latter, then I think it is possible to kind of create parameters for what kind of idea I should develop. But if you're of the former, then conceptualization in that way it doesn't lend itself well to some kind of like goal. I mean, like with our startup now, it is the latter. Like it is a philosophy like how information is monetized, and that like to think on our side, on the founder side, to think that this idea, or that I would mold it or shape it, or even create some kind of like abstract financial metric of success is for us absurd. You know? But if you're of the latter and you do everything by the book and you play the numbers and you law of large number kind of startup, then it does.
How hard was it for you to find VCs?
For my first startup, we were really lucky, and we raised very quickly. So we did, I think, the right thing, which is to develop a prototype before raising, and don't just raise on concept. And from the demonstration of a prototype to closing the round took about 3 weeks. So it was fast, but anomalous and not representative of the normal experience. And it wasn't here. It was in Hong Kong, which is also a very different kind of VC ecosystem as well.
And your second?
Our second is we're profitable, and at the moment debating whether or not we should raise money, which is also an interesting question. A lot of startups just like they automatically think that, oh, I'm a startup, therefore I have to do these things. I have to have the cute name and, you know, wear hoodies and shit and stuff. Excuse me. I'm totally like, you know, and you know, I have to raise to get credibility, and I have to, you know, VC money, like it's part of the rite of passage to becoming, you know, the super cool kid, and that's, I think, retarded. And VC money should be a strategy that may or may not work for your firm, or for your idea, or for your team.
Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, in Europe, I find a lot of sort of startups, the way they look at raising money is winning the lottery. And it's just like, oh my God, that's it, game over, I'm done now. You know, I've raised $1 million, now I can go on my yacht. And no, that's actually the start of like having to do a hell of a lot of work, much harder work, because you've got to make something of that investment you just raised. So, you know, it's got a really warped sense of sort of perspective in Europe, particularly around raising money.
Right, totally agree.
How's the situation at the 22 companies
I mean, you know, a lot of what you said, I actually believe, I love numbers, and so I actually think companies in Europe are undercapitalized 3 to 5x. So depend on what stage and all of that, but generally sort of in that range. And it's, you know, it's difficult, it's frustrating